Hey friends, thank you so much for being here today. You know what? I'm here to bring you a wig review of a brand that I haven't reviewed in probably 2 years. I am very excited to be bringing you Main Attraction Showgirl in the color Espresso. I used to love my Main Attraction wigs. Years ago, I owned multiple, and they are an awesome synthetic brand with a budget-friendly price point, somewhat budget-friendly, not Amazon budget-friendly, but more budget-friendly than a lot of the big name brands. And I have Showgirl today because of a wig sister who told me that Showgirl is her current favorite. She wears it every day, and I really needed to review it. So I would like to thank Name Brand Wigs for partnering with me on this review. I asked them if it would be okay if I reviewed Showgirl because of that recommendation, and they sent her right out. So if you want to know more about this style right here, synthetic, lots of Permatease, then stick around, I'll tell you all about her. Thank Name Brand Wigs for sending me Showgirl so that I could show all of you, and for being willing to do so. When I heard from the wig sister who shared with me that Showgirl is her current favorite piece, I actually hadn't heard of it. It's a pretty new style. I think it came out earlier this year, so I had to go check it out. And when I saw this cute kind of wavy piece, I just knew that if I could get my hands on one to review, I would. And I chose the color Espresso because I do pay attention to you guys' requests. I read the comments and then messages you send me, and I do get asked quite frequently to show more dark brown colors. So that's why I chose Espresso. I will talk about this color toward the end. Let's take a look at this one from all sides. I apologize, you guys. I have had a cold for 3 weeks and I'm really struggling, but I have to get these reviews done. They've just been sitting here, so pardon me if I'm not quite myself and I don't sound like myself. I am a lot of congestion up here. All right, so Showgirl. I will tell you guys right off the bat, this one has a lot of Permatease right up in here. It's actually been quite some time since I've reviewed a longer style that had as much Permatease as this has. It's pretty heavy right on the sides here, all the way around back here. What it does is it gives it volume up here. If you are someone who loves big hair, this one, you can get into that Permatease and really zhuzh it up and give it some big hair vibes. So it definitely has a good amount of Permatease. Now we do have a lace front, and it's actually a really good lace front. Look at that. It just totally mounts. You can see some knotting. It is a super dark color after all, but it's really not that bad. They've done a really good job with it. And we have a center part. It's very defined too. I really think they've done a fantastic job with a color this dark on a synthetic piece. The knots are small. It looks really, really good. You can always put makeup on them to blur them a little bit more, like face powder works great. There's that lace front. So this is that center monofilament. We have a real wide space right here. So if you don't mind a messy part line, you could actually part it a little bit over to the left or right in the front and then sort of zigzag it into the middle if you don't love the true center part look. We've got ear tabs with soft material and bendable stays, extended nape, Velcro adjusters, and open wefting. Now, sorry everybody, the more I talk, a question I get asked all the time is, can I cut bangs into that piece? I probably get asked on every single wig I show whether or not bangs can be cut in. If you are someone who wears bangs on your wigs, I want to tell you that you could probably cut bangs into nearly any wig. You can see the things that you have to be aware of, and it can vary from piece to piece. If it's a curly or wavy piece, where does that curl pattern start? If it starts up higher, it could interfere with a bang laying right. In addition, if it's got a really defined part line and a cowlick, a super cowlick, you may have some trouble getting it to lay flat. both of those things can vary from piece to piece. The wave pattern on this one starts about midway down. So you could cut a bang into this. There are no waves on mine up that high, but you may get a piece where the waves start a little bit higher. And I don't have a really bad cowlick right here, enough that this is not really a face flopper, but I do think you can work with that to get bangs cut in. If, on the other hand, you get a piece, the wave pattern starts higher, or you have more of a cowlick, you can take steam to a synthetic. This is not heat friendly. Don't take a hot airbrush unless it's all plastic. I have shown that in a previous video. I can tag my video below. I'll link it below, the one where I talk about hot airbrushes. Ones with metal on them I would not use on a regular synthetic. I also wouldn't use a curling iron. I wouldn't use a hot comb, but you can use a clothing steamer, and you can take a comb or a brush or something, a round brush, and you can kind of steam it and get those hair fibers to lay the way that you want them. So long way of saying, yes, you can cut bangs, but it's really hard to say unless I see the piece that you have, how well that'll work on your particular wig. Hope that makes sense. Now, since it's been so long since I've reviewed a main attraction piece and my head size is different now that I've lost some weight, I'm just gonna tell you how this one in particular fits me. My recollection is that main attraction runs pretty true to average, but I will say that this seems to be running a little smaller. So I do have it cinched in a little bit, and I have a 21¼ circumference. When I had a 22-inch circumference, these wigs fit me fine, but I'm not finding a lot of extra. Now, it's very stretchy, lots of stretch, but I would have expected to cinch it in a little bit more than I have if it were a true to average. In addition, I'm really not getting a ton of extra cap up here. I usually get a lot of extra cap in the crown because I'm very petite over the top of my head. I'm really not getting that. This is actually fitting me cinched in a little bit very comfortably. I could wear this without a wig grip and feel totally secure with it on my head. I'm getting decent coverage. These ear tabs are sitting up a little bit higher than I would expect if this were a true to average piece. So I feel as though this is running a little bit smaller than average. That is something that can vary from wig to wig, but based on how this is fitting me, I really wouldn't recommend this. If you have large measurements, I wouldn't recommend this, but I think if you are true to average and less, I think that you can probably wear this just fine. All right, I think I covered all the important things. Hope I didn't forget anything. If I did, ask in the comments and I'll make sure to answer. Let's talk about color. Espresso. This color is, well, it says it's a medium dark brown with medium brown highlights. I think it's a dark brown with some medium brown highlights. You can kind of see some of those highlights. They're not super bold. It makes it dynamic, gives it a little visual interest, but it isn't heavily highlighted. I would consider this a neutral color. I don't think it's pulling red. I don't think if you got this, you would go, oh, there's too much auburn or red. Sometimes in a super rich, dark chocolatey kind of color, you see the auburn and the red. In this one, I'm not really experiencing that. This feels, but it also isn't so dark that it feels black. Let's get outside so that you can see that. I really think it's pulling darker here in this lighting than it maybe is in person. It is very dark, a very dark brown, but not black. Not pulling red. I would consider this a more neutral dark brown with a little bit of those kind of medium brown highlights running throughout. Nothing extreme. I'll be honest, this is the color my bio hair was before I lost so much of it that I started wearing wigs. And I colored my bio hair with a box hair color from the drugstore because I found if I put box color on it, it made it a little thicker, a little bit easier to work with. And I typically purchased the darkest brown that I could. This reminds me of that. So it's definitely a dark, dark brown. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Name Brand Wigs. You guys check them out if you haven't. They are a wonderful online retailer. I have a discount code in the description. It won't work on this wig, unfortunately. Main Attraction is one of those brands that doesn't often offer discounts, but my discount code will work on nearly every brand at their site. So if you go there and you decide to purchase something other than this one, you can use that discount code. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. All right, we're out here with this color. Pretty cloudy out, but a good opportunity to see this without a lot of glare. It's absolutely freezing out here. So this is fresh out of the box. I have not reviewed it yet. I literally just pulled it out of the box, so I haven't combed through it. But the weather has been dicey, so I want to get out here. You can see just a really neutral, dark brown. Nothing fancy. Thanks for watching.
Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.